We are here at the Tata Motors Pavilion at the Auto Expo 2023, and we're talking to Martin Ulrich, who's created a big bang with, well, not just one, not two, not three, almost four new products that have showcased. All of them fantastic. Martin, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, and I hope you enjoyed the launch.
Absolutely, it was wonderful. It was exciting. I think the big bang at Auto Expo 2023 came from Tata Motors and some fantastic design work that we've seen on these cars.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we wanted to end the day on a high for everybody. And we launched four significant products today, all for different parts of the business. And altogether, I think they're very consistent and they really create a stir in terms of what our brand is about.
These days it's very easy to get lost with, the design language following a very similar theme or commonality. But what we're seeing here at Tata Motors is that each of these cars has a very individual and distinct character. How did you manage to pull that off?
I mean, we do have to have a brand consistency. You can see there is a design DNA that's consistent. Obviously, it's the same people working on across all of the products. But at the same time, each of the products is an individual. Just like Nexon is a brand, Punch is a brand, Harrier is a brand. That's what we want to do. And obviously, things like the Sierra are an iconic brand for us, so it's a responsibility to give them their own identity, but at the same time they're all members of a single family. So that is the challenge for the design team, and I think you can see that it's been quite successful.
We were talking about the designs also over here, and what the one part that I'm noticing is that from the concepts, and we've seen the concepts before, to now which are almost close to production, at least in the case of the Harrier EV, the Curve,
yes,
and even the Safari. Pulling that off, getting us so close to production from the concepts to here, not much has changed. How is that working out for Tata Motors?
What happened before was there was a big disconnect between the concept the design team and the production design team. In many ways, what we've done is we've created a sort of a singular focus where whoever does the concept has to deliver the production car. And I always joke that I call it we have to reach singularity, where I want our production cars to look like concepts and our concepts to look like production cars. And in fact, actually, I'm planning on getting rid of concepts altogether, so our products are one and the same. So when we do a launch, it has to look like a concept. It has to capture your heart, inspire you, and everything that a traditional concept would do. But actually, it's producible and it's deliverable. That's the ultimate challenge for the design team. So you can see with the Curve, with the Sierra, and with the Harrier EV, those are very close to the production spec that you're going to see in the next several months.
All right, fantastic. That's some news for us because, as you mentioned, it's in the next few months.
Yes.
Another area I want to touch upon is the light works that we're seeing on these new cars.
Yes.
Is electrification liberating design for that matter, or is it you're moving towards a new kind of architecture, I'd say, where light works are concerned? Because we're seeing a lot of dynamic elements in the cars. They're not just static light elements any longer. They are dynamic. There's things happening. They're moving around. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, I think traditionally, we spoke about it, that traditionally, a front end of a car would have a lot of chrome, a lot of grille work, and so forth. As we transition into EVs, we need less cooling, so the traditional grille is in many ways disappearing. So why would you have a grille which is superficial? It's there just to act as a face. But you can communicate the face and the identity of the product better through, I think, tech. And these are tech products, these are consumer products. So technology is the best way to communicate that. And when you look at lighting, things like the Avinia, now the signature, the DRL signature is the identity of the vehicle. And the same thing you can see with the other products, that lighting is a perfect way to communicate how high-tech your product is. It's many ways the avatar that communicates the capability of the brand from a technology point of view. So the combination of not doing something superficial and at the same time communicating lighting, and it's something that's very identifiable. It's just a natural progression to where design is going.
The other aspect that I'm observing with these cars is that the size has grown. Does the size of the vehicle also give you further flexibility or give you further freedom to kind of do a lot more with the product?
It does, but for instance, if you look at this car, you would not believe that this is a 4.3 meter vehicle. This is not much longer than an Altroz, but the perception is very different. And actually that perception is driven by the proportions because the wheels are so far outboard, the wheelbase is very long, and that's enabled with a pure EV platform. So what it does is, when you were asking, is electrification enabling design? In many ways it is, because it's actually opening up completely different parameters. So what we want to do is offer the customer value for money in terms of interior space, so it's a human-centric design. But at the same time, it's really creating actually a new DNA. And you can see that, transitioning across all the products. Even when you see the Sierra, we're showing it in its lounge format, the interior. And once you sit in the interior, you'll see that there's no other vehicle in a 4.3 meter footprint, which is what the car is, that has that sort of spaciousness.
Right.
And
One
that's
last.
all because of batteries.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think because the front firewall has moved out.
Move out,
yeah.
and you're getting rid of the traditional transmission tunnel, so you have the flat floor, and it's just enabling, that spatial, sort of responsibility.
Fantastic. Martin, do you have is there some of these cars, one of these cars, that you're more fond of than the others?
Well, I mean, for me, this car is my personal sort of dream project because it was a complete blank sheet of paper. And I've always said that the job objective of this project is I want to have this in my garage. So I'm putting my own pressure on myself and the team to basically have exactly what we see on my driveway. And at the same time, the Sierra is something that's very important. It's something that we've really embraced in design, and myself included. We worked on the concept back, and we launched it in 2020. So we've been working on the Sierra now for the better part of almost 4 years. First was the concept, and now for the production car. And obviously not being a native, person from India, the Sierra maybe doesn't have the same resonance to me like it did, but I understand the responsibility that design has to deliver that. And as we've developed it, it's become a kind of mission for the design department to deliver that project and that product to the road.
Well, fantastic, Martin. Thank you for those insights. Pleasure talking to you as always, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.